Morning, Duffy. You're going back to a new Gravity Falls review, and if you're yourself fun, go and check it out. And we're back with the next two episodes of season one, and we start with another really interesting one that I find really cool as well. And yeah, it starts with the gang at the Mystery Shack getting ready for this party, and yeah, of course, Dipper and Maple being their funny selves, and also Wendy also joins along too with it. And of course, yeah, their Uncle Stan is just not even doing anything about it at first. And then, of course, this is a whole quick, quick get rich scheme that he's going to be doing pretty much, and wanting them to print more of these flyers. Yeah, and of course, I like the picture at the bottom. And yeah, we see this old printer, which yeah, he says that he fixed, but no, it looks very horrible. And it even prints or scans Dipper's hand, and it comes out, and it actually comes to life, which then they disintegrate it with some drink. And yeah, everybody is getting their assignments, and yeah, Seuss is going to be doing the DJ, and then of course Dipper is wanting to do the job of helping Wendy at the ticket booth, but of course their Uncle Stan is saying, "Are you sure you're going to want to do it? Because there's no backing out." And of course, after watching them spray paint Seuss's belly, he's like, "Of course." And of course, this is obviously just to impress Wendy, of course. And yeah, Mabel just saying what is going on. And yeah, him just reading through all these different things too. And having this fantasy, which is just very funny. Even holding out that list too. And of course, Mabel has a good point on saying, why not just be yourself and go over and talk to Wendy? Like, yeah, she actually has a point. That's what you should always do. But of course, talk to her like a normal person. He put on the list. Like, oh boy, this is gonna backfire. I can tell for Dipper. And yeah, everybody's actually enjoying the party. And yeah, everybody is having to pay extra if they're wanting to leave, which of course they're saying that they're trapped. And yeah, everybody getting the tickets, and of course, yeah, Dipper is just not doing so well talking to Wendy. And then we see Mabel actually seeing these two other girls, and one even has forks taped to her fingers. And she's like, "I found my people." Like Mabel's actually found her some friends. And then we see this cool clown that they're able to win. Whoever wins this dance competition. And yeah, then we see this sass like girl and her friends that are wanting to join and do the competition. And of course, Mabel is wanting to do it as well. Which, yeah, she's doing really good with the dance, I would just say. And yeah, Wendy is definitely wanting to join in, which tells Dipper to cover her. And yeah, she goes out and dance, and yeah, of course, Dipper is trying to leave. But then his Uncle Stan tells him, "Where are you going? You said that you wouldn't leave the stand." And even playing that recorder as well, saying that he promised. And then he actually has a plan in motion, which, yeah, goes over to the printer. And yeah, then he actually prints himself a clone. And of course, they're talking alike as well. And puts a 2 on the clone, and yeah, they have the same the whole things too, and they're just like, are we gonna, end up like something's gonna go wrong, pretty much. They're gonna have the same emotions on wanting to get for Wendy. And yeah, the clone is doing a pretty good job, while, yep, we see that guy that was at the convenience store that they went to. And yeah, having this fantasy as well, which Wendy then punching Dipper, and yeah, calling the clone, and yeah, they're having to come up with another plan, which yeah, cloning another Dipper, and then another one, and yeah, that one is not so good looking, and yeah, that one girl, being all sass-like, manages to finish, and yeah, Mabel ending up doing a better job, I would probably say, and everybody's cheering, and yeah, Dipper then comes over to Seuss and says of how a bike has been taken, and yeah, the guy that was at the or one of the friends of Wendy's is like, "What?" And then yeah, saying that his bike is getting taken by the Dipper clones to distract them. And yeah, everybody is being joined on the dance floor, and of course Dipper is trying to suss Mabel, which yeah, of course he's still not ready of what it seems, and they're having to do some more clones. Like there's just so too many of them, and yeah, distracting Zeus with a light and closing the blinds and just getting this piece of money. And of course, at first Uncle Santa's like, "You think I'm gonna fall for that?" And then he literally jumps trying to get the dollar. And then yeah, Dipper actually sees Wendy waiting for the bathroom and shows this picture, and they actually have a good laugh at each other, and showing this birthmark too that Dipper has. And then all of the clones are like, "What are you doing?" And of course, they end up taking Dipper and locking him in a closet and giving him all these different things he could do in there. And yeah, they end up fighting with each other. And yeah, that weird scruffled up one to get the attention of. And yeah, of course, the real Dipper escapes and sees Wendy, which then gets taken back. And yeah, I was thinking this thing was going to go too far. Yeah, they end up punching each other and disguising himself as the seventh Dipper. But of course, yeah, that's not the Dipper that they were thinking about. And yeah, these are just party poppers, but of course that doesn't work. And then the fire extinguishers go off, and our sprinklers go off, and yeah, melt all of the clones except for one. And Mabel's doing a really good job with the dancing, and yeah, they're just fighting each other until they say that it seems like their chances is pretty much over. I mean, they're 12, and Wendy's like 15. So, yeah, the chances of Dipper even getting with Wendy isn't all that good. And they realize that they've blown it. And then, yeah, when it comes to the voting of who managed to win, which these the Wendy, and after they're cheering with Wendy, and then they're like, when it comes to that popular girl. And she literally cheats and gives this dollar bill to this old man and making him clap. Yeah, causing him to clap. Like, he wasn't even part of it. And, of course, gets the crown. But, of course, when Mabel is telling those girls that I understand if y'all don't want to hang out, but they already has asked their mom for them to spend the night with Wendy or with Mabel because they really dig Mabel. And yeah, she is very happy, of course, to have some new friends. And yeah, we see Dipper and his clone just out. And of course, yeah, the clone, that was a smart idea for him to drink the drink that obviously it's just making him melt. And yeah, he decides to go and try to talk to Wendy personally. And yep, rips the whole list while he goes back into the party. And yeah, it just ends with Zeus just pressing the different parts of the keyboard with these different sound effects. And then we go to the next one, and it's another really cool one. And it starts with their Uncle Stan just wondering what's up with this traffic. And of course, Mabel just putting these nachos on chips on like earrings. And then when we see all these station wagons and stuff, they're like, yeah, their uncle is starting to freak out and then getting surrounded. And yeah, we say that the welcome to Gravity Falls, and then apparently it's them celebrating of when Gravity Falls was discovered. The founder discovered it. And yeah, showing that news reporter guy, and of course, their Uncle Stan scaring him, and he gets hit with this barrel. And then, yeah, we just see all these different activities And then, of course, their uncle is like, no way, you ain't going to be seeing me apart around these parts. And, of course, they're just talking about these people. And then we see the police officers. And, man, the police officers in this show are something. Especially when this old lady's purse gets taken. And they don't even do a thing about it. Like, yeah, this town really has very bad police officers, I would just say. And yep, we did see that girl again. That was from the last episode, and talking about how apparently the guy that found the founder of Gravity Falls was one of her old relatives. And of course, Mabel comes up, making a scene on herself, and yeah, doing the whole USA cheering, and this guy crying as well. And of course, Mabel getting her feelings hurt as well. Which, yeah, this girl, not Mabel, but that other girl, she is a brat, I would say. And of course, making Mabel feel very up. Again, just hurting her, basically. Even you could just see, like, she's about to cry. Like, man. And, of course, she's just all upset right now. And yeah, we say their Uncle Stan's just trying to leave, but he's getting all stuck. And then this guy, he's just trying to talk with this guy and thinking he's getting dumber by the minute. And then, of course, the policemen arrive. And, of course, they put him in a stockade. And then we see little Gideon with these tomatoes, which, of course, throws some at Uncle Stan. And, yeah, poor Mabel, though. Her just having her feelings hurt. Like, this really got to her. And yeah, Dipper, being a good brother that he is wanting to actually find a way to put that brat girl in her place, and actually finding the truth of who is actually on the actual founder of Gravity Falls. And apparently, when they're reading from the book, they actually see this this kind of, I don't know what you would call it, but yeah, to unveil the truth as well. And yeah, Mabel's wanting to join along just so she can prove that she's not weird. And then, of course, the police officers, they're like the villain, some part of a villain in this show, I would say. And yeah, they're getting called by this guy with these different cameras and stuff, and they're being told not to make them find out the truth. And yeah, we're seeing these kids being read by this guy while Dipper is trying to find out some other clues that they can follow up. And so these different pictures. And then they actually find out one that looks like on the page. And then, of course, Mabel turning it into a hat, but then revealing it to be a map. Then those police officers arrive again, which then they go to the Gravity Falls Museum of History. And yeah, they get their little, I don't know, or they're like badges, but not exactly badges or pendants or whatever. But then they go over to this painting, which looks like rubbish. But then, yeah, when Mabel is upside down, they actually reveal something. It's actually another clue. And then, yeah, the police officers are there too, which then they get stuck. And then, yeah, this guy that married a woodpecker is just arguing with the woodpecker, and yeah, Uncle Stan is trying to still get out of the stockade until that brat girl comes again, and yeah, writing "you stink" with his mouth, and yeah, getting these people to throw tomatoes at him. And then they find grave this graveyard, this same statue, which sees Mabel's getting her nose picked by it, and calls the secret passage to open. And of course, they step on a trap, and yeah, we see these tranquilizer darts and this slide, and they end up in this abandoned area, which yeah, they say the what they needed, and showing that the founder is nothing but a fraud, and the truth of what he actually is, and yeah, shows what the true founder actually is. And then the police officers arrive, and of course, yeah, one of them got shot with the tranquilizer darts. And yeah, they showed this video and of the actual president, and I like it says the eights 1/2 1.5, the eighth 1.5 president of the United States, and showing the history of how he became president and how he was the weirdest president, and just showing all these different things like babies with mustaches and bows and hats and no pants and on this horse backwards going into this canyon. Like, and then they find him in this peanut butter stuff, which he thought he can keep him alive, and this is pretty much kidnapping. No, literally. These police officers are literally kidnapping at this point. They're on this train going to give this keep away this evidence, and yeah, even locked up Mabel and Dipper in this box. Like, yeah, this is literally kidnapping. They are like, what kind of police officers are they? And yeah, of course, Mabel just still thinking that that girl was right about her, and the cops too. And then, yeah, he ends up still alive somehow and rips off his pants. And of course, he actually says that Mabel was the one that actually, which, yeah, pretty much talking about Mabel of, and yeah, just very good points, I would say, that he makes. And even having the key, which, yeah, of course, not working on the box. And then they try to do their fingers inside the hole, which that woodpecker comes and opens or breaks the door, or not door, the box, and they end up running off and they get surrounded. Which then, apparently, they tell this 8.5 president that he actually didn't sign off anything, so he's technically still the president. And he actually declares that they get let free and like none of this happened, and also that the police officers take a vacation, which they do. And yeah, he talks to Mabel and very touching, I would say, even giving her this hat. And to Dipper gives the president's key. And yeah, of course, Mabel going over to that girl, and of course, she's not even believing, still making fun at her. Even her parents, like, yeah, even her parents are jerks, I would say, too. And then, of course, talking about the whole revealing the truth, which, of course, Mabel doesn't care about that because she's, likes to, again, she's accepting on being weird. And, of course, Dipper reveals to that brat girl what she needs to know about her family member being a fraud. And yeah, he thinks it was very well done. It feels very good when it comes to revenge. And yeah, we see this 12 half-dollar bill, which is pretty funny. And yeah, he ends up riding back on the horse, and they go to their Uncle Stan, which then unlocks the stockade. And yeah, just very funny, I would just say. And wondering with the hat and stuff and all these different things. And yeah, we see the president just going over back to these babies as well, just having this conversation with them. But yeah, very crazy episodes, I definitely say. Yeah, like in real thing.